What's happening? So we got the UFC going down. Calvin Kattar takes on Arnold Allen in the main event. Pretty good main event in the featherweight division for a fight night. So let's get straight to it. I'm going to start in the beginning. If you guys need a place to bet, you already know BetUS, promo code Iceman. Best promotions in the game on BetUS, and they're always hitting you, hitting members up with promos and, just like free money here and there. They'll toss you some free money and some free Bitcoin to play with and stuff like that. I've never had any other gambling websites do that. So BetUS, if you guys haven't tried them out before, give them a shot. Try them out. You don't need to, deposit too much. Just give them a shot, and I guarantee you guys won't regret it. So let's start in the beginning here. Cody Durden takes on Carlos Mota. Cody Durden, he's had a few fights in the UFC, I believe 4 or 5, and he's got 2 wins. His last fight was, we took him his last fight against JP Buys, and he just destroyed JP Buys in the first round. I believe a minute in, knocked him out. And before that, he fought Muhammad Makayev, who's like the real deal. And he's taken on Carlos Mota, 8 wins, 1 loss, great record. He's been on a roll. He had that 1 loss to Charles Johnson in LFA, and ever since then he's been on a roll, 2 in a row. Has not fought in the UFC, which changes everything, right? So I'm going with Cody Durden on this one, just because the experience factor. Now Chase Hooper takes on Steve Garcia, Ben Askren Jr., as some people like to call him. His last fight, he did beat Felipe Colares by ground and pound. But before that, he lost to Steven Peterson. So he's sort of 50-50, like he won his last fight, but lost the one before that, and then won before, and then lost to Alex Caceres. So Steve Garcia, he got knocked out viciously by Mahishot. That guy is the real deal. We actually bet on Mahishot as an ice pick, I believe. I'm going to go with Chase Hooper on this one. I think Chase Hooper should be able to get it done. Up next, we got Jun Ong Park takes on Joseph Holmes. Now, a significant height difference, if you guys see here, 6'4", and Jun Young Park is 5'10", and he's actually a huge favorite, Jun Young Park. So the Korean is just coming off a split decision win over Eric Anders. Before that, he lost to RoboCop Gregory Rodriguez, but in his last, 4 or 5 fights, he's got 4 wins. So 4 wins and 4 out of 5 in his last 5 fights, and that 1 loss did come to RoboCop. Now he's taking on Joseph Ugly Man Holmes. His last fight, he beat Alan Amedovsky. However, he did lose to Jamie Pickett before that, and that one was really turned me off because Jamie Pickett's not the greatest fighter. So I'm going with Jun Young Park on that one. Pretty easy decision for me to make that. And a significant favorite, even though he is giving up a huge height and reach advantage. Up next, Andre Arlovsky, still doing this damn thing. I used to watch this guy in high school. I still remember his fight with Cabbage Carrera, one of my favorites back in the day. And believe it or not, Arlovsky is 43 years old and on a 4-fight win streak, man, doing the damn thing. And in his last 7 fights, 7 fights. Yeah, 7 fights. He's got 6 wins. 6 wins in his last 7 fights. His only loss was to Tom Aspinall. And Tom Aspinall is the real deal. So his last 4 fights, all decision wins. Now he's going against Marcos Rogerio de Lima, who is a significant favorite. His last fight, he did lose, though. In his last 4 fights, he's 2-2. He did beat Ben Rothwell, which is okay, whatever. But I'm actually going to take this fight to go over. I think all of Arlovsky's last 4 fights have all gone to the distance. And I think I'm going to go with this fight going over 1.5, which might get good odds. I haven't seen it, but considering it's a heavyweight fight, You might get some good odds with that. Up next, Phil No Hype Hawes takes on Roman Dolidze. Phil Hawes came into the UFC with a ton of hype, even though his nickname is No Hype. Ton of hype. His last fight, he did beat Deron Winn, who's like mini DC out in the AKA camp. Great wrestler. Dominated him, was able to finish off with some elbows in the second round. But before that, he got knocked out viciously by Chris Curtis. But he's been on a roll before that. Like, he's got wins over Imavov and Kyle Dawkins, Jacob Malkoun, great fighters. So I think Phil Hawes has all the potential in the world. Now he's taking on Roman Dolidze. Yeah, this is going to be a tough one. I think I'm going to go with the over on this one as well. I'm going to go over 1.5. I think Roman Dolidze is the real deal, and I don't think you should count him out in this one. So I think over 1.5. Now, Dustin Jacoby takes on Khalil Roundtree. I like this matchup, and I really like Dustin Jacoby. This match is going to be at light heavyweight. So Khalil Roundtree used to be a middleweight. Actually, he used to be, I believe, a heavyweight, moved down, and then now he's going back up to light heavyweight. And he's taking on probably one of the best strikers in that division, a guy who's been, started off as a kickboxer out in the glory days. He's got, great kickboxing record, even a professional boxing record. Just a great striker overall, and he's got a huge win streak. Just on a roll, Dustin Jacoby, and I think he should dominate Khalil Roundtree, especially the fact that Khalil is moving up in weight. I think Khalil is going to be in for it. So I think Dustin Jacoby should easily beat Khalil Roundtree, maybe even by a knockout. Up next, Josh Fremd takes on Trishan Gore. Trishan Gore has got 6 professional fights, and he's 4 wins, 2 losses. I don't even know why he's in the UFC with a record like that. So Josh Fremd, his last fight was his first fight in the UFC against Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, and he lost a unanimous decision. Before that, he got 2 in a row in the LFA, and his only loss in the LFA was to Gregory Robocop Rodriguez. So he's got 2 losses, one to Robocop and one to Fluffy Hernandez. 2 pretty good guys taking on Trishan Gore, who's, horrible record, or 3-2 or 4-2, whatever it is. He's got 2 straight losses. I think he's going to get dominated. So I'm going easily Josh Fremd on that one. Up next, Waldo, #where is Waldo, takes on Jared Vanderer. Waldo is on a wicked win streak. I think he's 7-0, I believe, undefeated, from the Dominican Republic. Yeah, I think your boy Salsa Boy Waldo is just going to dominate Jared Vanderer. So he's been on a roll. This is his first fight in the UFC, not including the Contender Series. He had a fight on the Contender Series where he fought Danilo Suzart and just dominated him, won in the first round. Now he's taking on Jared Vanderer. Jared Vanderer lost, I think he's lost the last 4 or 5 fights in a row. His last fight, he actually got knocked out by Chase Sherman, who absolutely not the greatest fighter. He's got like 16 wins, 10 losses. So I think Jared Vanderer is going to get dominated in this fight. And if you lose 5 in a row, I mean, the UFC is probably going to cut you, unless they're just going to use you to build up other fighters, which sometimes you see them doing nowadays. So easily Waldo should get this one done, even though he hasn't fought in the UFC before. But up next, the Dirty Bird, Tim Means, takes on Max Payne Griffin. So the Dirty Bird, Tim Means, I love this guy. Great style matchup for him. His last fight, though, he fought Kevin Holland, who Darce choked him. Kevin Holland was actually one of my ice picks. And it was just a bad matchup for him. But before that, he beat Dalby, he beat Perry, he beat Loriana Steriopoli. Now he's taking on Max Payne Griffin. Max Payne Griffin, he was on a roll, and then he fought Neil Magny, lost that split decision, lost to Neil Magny. his last fight, and he's taking on Tim Means. I think a smart man in this fight would probably take this fight to go over. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go over 1.5 on this one. I think this fight goes into the later rounds for sure. Later on in the fight, I believe it passes the 7.5 minute mark. So I'm going with that one. If I were to pick a winner, to be honest, I sort of like Tim Means in this one, even though he's an underdog. I like Tim Means, especially if this stays on the feet. Tim Means is a good striker, so I think sort of leaning towards Tim Means on that one. Now, main event, Calvin Kattar takes on Arnold Allen. Arnold Allen, one of the better records in that featherweight division, 18 wins, 1 loss. That's a great record. Probably his toughest fight, though, is Calvin Kattar coming up. So Calvin Kattar, his last 4 fights, he's 2-2. Now, those losses did come to Max Holloway and Josh Emmett. I thought he beat Josh Emmett his last fight. It was a split decision loss. I thought Calvin Kattar won, but however, judges did not see it that way. They gave it to Josh Emmett. Now he's fighting Arnold Allen. Arnold Allen, he's been on a roll. Quite the roll. I mean, he had his 1 loss in Cage Warriors in 2014, which was 8 years ago, and ever since then he's been on a roll. So he's been able to get, I think, 11 in a row since then. 11 wins in a row. His last fight, he just finished Dan Hooker real quick, knocked out Dan Hooker in the first round. Not many people you see, knock out Dan Hooker. So I'm going with, this can be surprising to some people, but I'm going with Arnold Allen on this one. I think Arnold Allen, he's been looking really good, man. And if he keeps that, the height is going to be a little bit difference. One's 5'8", one's 5'11". But Arnold Allen is faster. Both guys, great boxers, great strikers. I don't think this fight's probably going to hit the ground. If it does, I could see Arnold Allen initiating the takedown. But for that, I have a feeling this fight's probably going to be more of a stand-up match. And I'm leaning towards Arnold Allen on that one, but this is a pick-em. This fight could go either way. Calvin Kattar's a gamer, dude. He's fought everybody in that featherweight division, and, he's really good. So if you're feeling Kattar, I don't blame you. This fight could literally go either way, but I'm leaning towards Arnold Allen. But those are my picks, and if you guys need a place to bet, you already know, BetUS, promo code Iceman. And good luck. Let's make some money, and let's get that Peter Yan shitty robbery out of, get that back. Try to hit the bookies where it hurts the most, which is their wallet. So good luck. Out.